And as I said, these are not easy days for us. I'm sure you've heard more stories than I know. I'm sure you have more stories than I know. I don't have time to listen to the stories. I did hear one story, a very beautiful story, very sad story, about a young boy who, when the shooting started, he ran out of his house. And he was aware in back of him, 13 members of his family were killed. And he alone survived. He alone survived. And this boy is going to be bar mitzvahed. Could be next week. It's going to be bar mitzvahed. And he very much wanted a pair of tefillin. There's a pair of tefillin that somehow his father saved from his grandfather, great-grandfather, the Holocaust, and he was able to take the spirit tefillin through the Holocaust. And he wanted to put on his Zaydi's tefillin on his bar mitzvah. And Zach agreed. That unbelievable what Zach is doing. Unbelievable. You know, when I spent 12 years, I was 12 years doing Zaka for, right? But then it was all theoretical. We learned how to notify people of bad news and so forth, and reach the families and see to it there's a gvura, right? That was the Zaka that I was in. Today they're working day and night. They're working day and night. The real stuff. But I don't mean Zaka. I mean it's hard for me to think. Anyhow, they were mice and nefesh, and they went into the home and they gave him his tefillin. They got him his tefillin. They risked his life. They got him his tefillin. I want to tell you something. I want to tell you that we need your tefillas. We need your davening. We need it very much. Every night, you know, you don't say goodnight to somebody in Eretz Yisrael. You say, have a quiet night. Have a quiet night. Because we know that when they do what they have to do, when they go in, it's not going to be a quiet night. Here in Telstone, we've had, Baruch Hashem, since the first night when we had they sent a rocket that hit in Abu Ghosh, right? And somebody who was meant to be in his bunker downstairs wasn't. He was watching the action, and that was it. But it's been sirens in Telstone we haven't had exactly a target, and we hope it remains quiet. But I want to tell you over something which defines the Vetzio, definition of Vetzio in the Parsha. It says, Moshe Chaviv Menoach. Moshe was more beloved than Noach. Moshe was more beloved than Noach. And let me do a little bit of that. Because Moshe was first called an Ish Tzaddik. Noach was first called an Ish Tzaddik. Noach was called an Ish Tzaddik. At the end of the Parsha, he's called an Ish Adama. Ish Adama. Adama of the ground, it's according to the Meshech Chachma, that was, he lost a lot. From Tzaddik, he went already to Adama, earthly. He lost a lot. That's how the Meshech Chachma learns. Moshe Rabbeinu was an Ish Mitzri. An Ish Mitzri, meaning that there were certain midos that he had to perfect himself. He had to work on himself with certain midos. He has an Ish Mitzri. But then he became an Ish Elokim. Became an Ish Elokim. There's nothing higher than an Ish Elokim. So says the Meshech Chachma, the following pshat. You may have heard it from me, but it's kedai to hear again. It's kedai to hear again. Meshech Chachma says like this. There's two ways to be Oved Hashem. There's two ways to serve Hashem. One way is to be concerned with yourself and your own avodas Hashem, your own reaching to higher heights, your own trying to perfect yourself to become as much as you can become. There are other people in the world, so you sort of, you leave, there are other people to take care of other people. You neglect them a little bit. But you're more concerned about making yourself into as much as you can possibly become what Hashem meant for you to make you perfect yourself and work on yourself. And there's another way. There's other people who, when they see that somebody else needs help, they neglect themselves and they go to help the other person. They're here to help the other people. They're going to lose something themselves, right? Lose something themselves, right? I think the Meshech Chachma quotes there that this was something last week. I forget who it was, but he forgot Shishim halachas because he was Isaac B'tzorchei Tzibur. He forgot 60 halachas because he was Isaac B'tzorchei Tzibur. So he was Isaac B'tzorchei Tzibur. It made him forget. He made him not know halachas. So he sacrificed his own standing, his own closest to Hashem by going out there and being concerned about others. Going out there and being concerned about others. And you would think, says the Meshech Chachma, that person that's concerned about himself and building himself up and trying to get close to Hashem and working on himself, that person, he's the one who's going to be close to Hashem. He's the one who's going to make it. He's the one who's going to be chosen. He's the one who's going to... And the person who neglects himself, but is concerned about others, so, okay, he's going to help others, but he's not going to be what he could have been. He's not going to be what he could have been. And says the Meshech Chachma, you see that Chazal are saying not like that. Noach was an Ish Tzaddik, but he didn't go out and try to convince the people, right? He was all that time building the Teva, but he didn't get anybody to join him. He wasn't going there to be mashpia on the people, telling them there's going to be a terrible thing and you have to come when you got to save yourself and your families. He didn't do it. So from an Ish Tzaddik, he became an Ish Adama. But Moshe Rabbeinu was an Ish Mitzri, showing that there were certain midos that he had to work on to perfect himself. But he put himself into, he went out and he sacrificed himself. He went out from Paro's household to sacrifice himself for a yid, right? To save a yid's life. Moshe Rabbeinu, because
Like my nana.
he didn't hesitate to stop by the burning bush and to come close and to see what Hashem is telling us. Moshe Rabbeinu from an Ish Mitzri became an Ish of Elokim. An Ish Elokim. Says the Meshech Chachma. You see, and what we have to do, we have to even sacrifice our own self, even sacrifice our own becoming closer to Hashem. Yes. If we are concerned with and helping other people, if we're out there for the others, if we're out there for the others, and then from an Ish Mitzri will become an Ish Elokim. That's the Meshech. And that, by the way, is a definition of the Beit Zion. It's a definition of the Beit Zion. That we're here to help our people. Maybe some things we could do better with ourselves if we would put more emphasis on our own. I can't help it. My internet is unstable. I wish I could do something about that, but I really don't know how to do it. This is the best I can do. In any case,
okay, Mosh. We'll take whatever we could get.
Okay, good. That's it. And by the way, there is. I think we should know it without going into details. There's a famous Yaros Dvash, that says that on Simchas Torah, there's going to be a Chilul Hashem, boys and girls, he mentions, doing something that perhaps they shouldn't be doing. And from that Chilul Hashem is going to come out the beginning of the Achris Hayomim. And that's now. The Achris Yomim is now.
Mosh, I actually just translated this. Somebody sent it to me. I'm going to post the translation of it there in the chat, so you can see exactly what he said.
Okay, please do.
I did.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Once again, now that we have everybody on, I want to ask everybody. Like I said, I'm going back and forth between the yeshiva and the Hadassah Hospital. My wife has been there for over 7 weeks, and Bez Hashem, I hope soon that she'll be able to leave there and eventually come home. But she still could use your tefillas. Chayet Tzipora Bas Rezel. Chayet Tzipora Bas Rezel. So I'd appreciate if we know the kayach of you fellows and your tefillas. So please don't please remember us. But someone asked me a question like this. Someone asked me that if I was in America and my son Rachmiel is here in Israel, I tell him to come home. And I told him, I told him I would, thank you. All right. I told him like this. I told him, it's easier to be in Eretz Yisrael and greet the Mashiach than it is to be in Chutz La'aretz and have to get to Eretz Yisrael, which might not always be the most comfortable thing, in order to greet the Mashiach. So I would tell my son, you stay in Eretz Yisrael and greet the Mashiach and send me a ticket right away, because I'm coming too. That's what I would tell my son. So please continue to daven for all of us, that we have, as I said, a quiet evening. Should have a quiet evening. There's so much Ma'aseh Nefesh going on in Eretz Yisrael. There's so many people doing things for other people. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Hashem is giving us so many opportunities, and leave it to Am Yisrael, leave it to Klal Yisrael. They're doing everything they can. It's an unbelievable situation. We're hoping for a quiet evening, but we're hoping that Hashem will send us all that we need to greet the Mashiach, the Meir B'Yameinu. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.